Cap Shrine. He's used it there quite a bit, but for this one, this is definitely a more diva map.
Let's start pushing forward here. Sayaplayer having to use that recall very early as he goes low on the Tracer. So far, just everybody going to be dashing around, trying to get some damage in, but no picks coming through. As they say, that Alpha does go down as Effect finishes them off, but both the Winstons will be taken out as Libero finds Cocco. Back and forth here, Sayaplayer trying to get rid of this baby diva as Mickie gets popped out. Will be able to finish him off, but still, trade back coming through from the side of EnVyUs as well, getting rid of Libero. As they start making their way onto the point, unlocked, and EnVyUs is posturing forward. Should be able to get this first cap. Let's get completed. We'll see how long they can hold on to this.
Yeah, it looked like Sayaplayer might just have done enough to secure it, but it wasn't quite the case with Hoon losing his mech early on in the fight. Mickie didn't really protect anybody in that fight. That's why Sayaplayer did so much damage, but at the end of the day, when Hoon was gone, things did flip a little bit there in that fight. Effect is holding on to that very important pulse bomb. Looking for a target already. No one is showing themselves just yet. Okay, we'll find them on the high ground here, but no good targets. He looks for Libero, though. Libero not deflecting backwards, gets taken out.
Yeah,
huge
just
mechanical mistake.
This comes right through, and he gets ripped apart. Effect on his flank just takes him right out. Now, yet again, Alpha. Discord target selection coming through from Chips is on point, and they are just tearing right through them. The sound barrier comes down, but Meta Athena, they're kiting backwards, trying to stay alive. Nuss trying to get out with his life, but Effect with that wry smile on his face dashes forward, takes him out, just giving that stagger over to Meta Athena.
They have a massive lead in ult economy now. Effect didn't use his pulse bomb for any of those picks, and Meta Athena staggered themselves on the respawns by trickling in like that. And already a worry if you're a Meta Athena fan. They've chosen, at least on Village here, to run the more traditional dive comp, but it just doesn't look as practiced as what EnVyUs is running right now, even without the Genji.
It was an enormous mistake to use that sound barrier there, and already Alpha has gone down. Effect finally using the pulse bomb, takes him out off screen. Cocco popping the mech on Hoon, and Nuss is yet again dead. The Zenyatta battle winning out now. Taimou pushing forward with attack visor, takes down Sayaplayer, and they're shoving him all the way back into the spawn, Wolf.
Yeah, this is looking terrible, and you can probably see the subtle defense matrix there on top of Taimou protecting him throughout that entire exchange. Mickie actually playing a little bit further back. Obviously, when you have this much control, that's how you're going to do it. You can't dive the spawn, but having that extra protection, this looks like it may just be a hard cap. Meta Athena is going to have to use everything that they have in their arsenal to try to retake, but if EnVyUs just plays defensively, they'll get an advantage. Already, Hoon's out. Alpha, no tanks.
Yeah, Nuss using that Transcendence will be matched here by Chips, just trying to keep everybody topped off, and Hoon has already died alongside Alpha and Libero. The DPS going to be severely limited. Sayaplayer throws out that last-ditch pulse bomb, won't find a stick, and that is going to be Village very swiftly, 100% to 0 over to Envy.
Well, I can tell you that if Meta Athena wants to keep running this, they're going to have to play it a lot better than that, I feel. I mean, they looked like they knew what they were doing in terms of target selection, but Mickie was playing a little bit more defensively than normal, and Taimou was always protected there. But it was Effect who found the most damage without his pulse bomb in the back lines, and it felt like Meta Athena fell apart a little bit there, especially when they came in for their second big push after the cap was at like 25-30%, where they were trickling in members, especially the Zenyatta, who got picked off several times. So Effect just found those targets, punished the play of Meta Athena, and sometimes we've seen Effect struggle to kind of get into his rhythm in the first game. It takes a little bit while to kind of get online, if you will. But this time it's been good.
All right, well, EnVyUs, as we move over to Sanctum, Mickie is starting things off with the Torbjorn.
Okay, it's real. No Orisa support for this, though. Just going to be Cocco, perhaps dropping a few barriers. They're going to control this first fight with it. At least that's the idea.
Well, the turn's already going to go down as Libero cuts his way through that. Mickie and Effect both falling, but the trade backs coming through very heavily in favor of EnVyUs. Almost a team wipe completed as Kris will go down. Nuss, the sole remaining member, off on the flank on the high ground. Will be trying to retreat, duking out with Chips there. As you can see, he goes low, but he's just going to jump off the map. So effective team kill in the end.
Harry got 2 boops there in that fight, not to mention the fact that it looks like off-screen he was doing a lot of extra damage in terms of headshots. Remember, HarryHook, an ex-DPS player, does flicks into it oftentimes, so really the MVP of that fight. Even though we were watching Taimou, you have to give credit to the Lucio player here on the side of EnVyUs, making those plays. And now the turret has been reset here by Mickie. He's actually doing a lot of extra damage here on his own. Turret notwithstanding, there's the Discord, and Alpha goes down.
Yeah, yet again, I mean, you can see the communication here from EnVyUs is pretty on point, just going straight onto those Discord orb members. As soon as it comes out from Chips, they will be losing out on this exchange as Libero comes up with several kills, cutting his way through Cocco and HarryHook. So the recap still hasn't happened, though, as EnVyUs maintains control.
Yeah, It looks like they're going to reset for another push here. Sayaplayer looking for a flank. Unfortunately, already spotted by a well-protected Taimou. Chases him away. This is just looking disastrous so far here for Meta Athena. Again, down on ult economy. Molten Core is going to be up in 30%. They just don't have any way to break through. They're going to try to dive in again. Alpha first. Hoon's already out of the mech, though. This is disastrous.
Yeah, gets knocked out by that pulse bomb. Libero now dragging out that Dragon Blade, trying to cut his way through, but Chips has the Transcendence there to just go ahead and nullify. But Nuts pushing forward with his own. They will be able to find Mickie. As Cocco's just zapping away, has the Primal Rage, goes very low, finally pops it, keeping himself alive, just trying to find the kill here onto this Genji. A couple more smacks will take him down, and with the help of Taimou, they get the kill, but in that time, EnVyUs shoved all the way back towards that initial choke point. They do lose the spawn, the flip comes through, 75% for them.
They used a lot of ults for that too. They committed to the Transcendence, the Sound Barrier. They didn't have Molten Core. That would have been the big commitment there. So they have a lot of tools to work with to retake still, but not the ones they would have liked. So they were very confident they were going to hold that fight.
Oh dear.
That's a double there if you include the turret.
I mean, given that the Molten Core was available, you kind of have to consider that. In fact, it's going to get jumped on. Does finish off Sayaplayer for the 1-for-1. But EnVyUs is still trying to stick in here with Mickie on the Molten Core, but he has to place the turret behind these corners. Can't really play it where it has free shots in onto the point.
It's very difficult to, when you're behind like this, get into a position where your opponent has a defensive setup to actually have an aggressive turret. It's more better when you're ahead, obviously.
Yeah.
He's going to go ahead and drop down that Molten Core to try to force it now. May even see a switch if this fails. He is protecting it right now. Discord onto Hoon, forcing the self-destruct.
Yeah, shoves them back around the corner. Will go ahead and kill the turret at the end, so Mickie not going to be getting too much profit off of that one. In the meantime, Taimou has that tac visor pulled. He's looking for a target, and Alpha going straight outside of his bubble will get taken down, but Libero follows up for the kill. Now the Dragon Blade cuts his way through Chips. Harry goes down, Mickie dead as well, and Meta Athena will hold on to this point. Nearly had the recap through there from EnVyUs, but they just can't quite find it.
Libero's stepping it up in this series for sure, finding a really good angle there when everyone on EnVyUs was forced back. I like that Mickey's going to switch over to the D.Va because Taimou was just not very protected there. He got the lucky kill on the Alpha, like you said, when he stepped out of the bubble, but otherwise wasn't protected. And it's so difficult to attack with Torbjorn here against a defensive setup. So just wanted to force that Molten Core, but it cost them precious time.
Oh, really good defense matrix there, keeping Chips alive, but Taimou goes down on the other side of the fight. Sound barrier down here from the side of Meta Athena as they keep pushing forward. Double Transcendence out from both of these Zenyatas, and the Primal Rage coming through here from Alpha, just trying to smack people out of it so they can actually get taken down. And he's doing just that. Chips and HarryHook both falling, effect going low. And now it's into overtime, back over onto the point where Cocco and Mickie are desperately trying to create time here for the rest of the squad to get there. They're knocked off. Cocco coming back in. Primal Rage as he's low on HP. Has to leap back out. Effect tagging in, just keeping this clock running. But the rest of the squad, still several members respawning here. And Meta Athena might just have it. HarryHook boot back, leap back in here from Cocco as Chips swaps over onto that Sombra. They're trying to buy even more time, but the double kill comes through. Sombra and Lucio get taken down. And Meta Athena come up with a win on Sanctum.
So much time bought there by Effect. That was pretty impressive to see how he danced in and out, going up and down those stairs there, saving his recalls to the last moment, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. In terms of ult economy, it's terrible that the pick there, Sayaplayer actually won that round, I feel, alone just by killing Mickie, stopping him from getting that important Molten Core off, as you mentioned, because he committed so much to staying with the Torbjorn, even respawning, forcing, I think, losing 3 turrets, trying to get a turret up, getting the Molten Core out. Had he just said, forget the Molten Core, I'm going to switch to D.Va, maybe they would have had a better fighting chance. They would have had a self-destruct there to contest, but the commitment to Torbjorn early looked really strong for them. But Sayaplayer really limited its value, and Alpha really stepping up. I always felt that ChangSik was the better Winston, but not today. Alpha looks to be much improved.
These squads getting ready to fight here on top of Shrine as they start pushing and looking for those initiating picks. EnVyUs very much sticking with the same comp that we saw over on Village. As Chips is just being fully protected out by Mickie, playing bodyguard duty with that defense matrix. Meantime, Nuss, Alpha both go down. Chips finally gets cut through by Libero. And he has Taimou as well, dashes through to get that kill. So 2 picked up by the Genji. But EnVyUs still with a man advantage. Starting to get that cap coming through as Mickie postures up onto the point.
Yeah, Mickie just doing what he can to try to grab this. Alpha will dive in to get the mech destroy, but he's going to pay for it with his life. Or actually will not. Does escape, knocks the mech down. Looks like it's going to be a flip, quote unquote. It's not captured yet, but control will be taken here, at least temporarily, by Meta Athena.
They're off it for a second, so the cap almost actually came through. Pulse bomb thrown out, not quite going to find anything other than the knockout from the mech. So Hoon to be in that baby diva form as Effect still dashes through, trying to keep himself alive, holds onto the recall for so long, and will stay alive in the end, actually finishes off Alpha as well, even without the Discord Orb. So EnVyUs putting up one hell of a fight to try to get this first cap. Libero drawing out that Dragon Blade, tries to get the kill on the chips. One final swipe will take him out, finds the double as both supports get taken down, but Cocco is there to clean up house, gets rid of that Genji. But now, with no supports, EnVyUs try to kite back off the point. They will lose that first cap.
The thing that we talk about with Effect all the time in EnVyUs games is his ability to flank, to find picks, to find kills. And that's usually what a Tracer's job is, but his survivability, I feel, and how long he stays alive in these fights, how much time he buys, especially on this first control point, is really the highlight of what he's showing us here. Very impressive. Fortunately, the fight, of course, goes Athena's way. Alpha going to dive in once again.
That's the sound barrier immediately coming out here from EnVyUs, just trying to keep everybody alive, but it's not going to be enough to keep chips up. He does go down in Effect now, pushing back in onto the point, has the pulse bomb ready to go, looking for a stick if he can only find it. Instead, just helps take down Kris alongside Cocco, getting rid of both those supports as Dust goes down as well. But still, you can see Meta Athena just shoving them back towards the spawn. So even with getting both of the supports down, EnVyUs have not been able to get a cap.
No, definitely not. And they have a few ults available here, but already using the main ones, unfortunately, in that last exchange. So not going to be able to do the heavy 6 ult push. Transcendence here alone is going to be enough to push them back. In fact, not able to get the pick he wanted there. Already used his recall. And Libero's got another Dragon Blade. We've seen what he can do with these, and here he goes.
Yeah, already chips going down. Alpha actually finishing him off with the leap. After that Transcendence was popped, Libero just trying to keep himself alive, dashes back to the side, tries to get that health pack. As Mickie throws out the self-destruct, finds Sayaplayer. Had so much time to get around the corner, but just was playing with fire, and he got burnt in the end. So Mickie opening things up here for his squad, but still, nobody from EnVyUs just now posturing up onto that point.
So much time bought here from Athena despite that amazing pick. Hoon's demeched here, so this should certainly be the flip. Effect once again surviving through crazy circumstances, getting the health pack.
They're stopping the cap though, it hasn't come through. There we go, finally finds it. And Sayaplayer was dashing around and Libero got taken down. So they bought so much time for themselves, did Meta Athena. 91% accrued on the point. In EnVyUs, they basically have to hold this all the way. If you get a flip through for Meta Athena, you're looking at an overtime retake.
It's going to be the 6-man ultimate push probably for Meta Athena. They're going to do a few eco pokes in here to try to look for that ult percentage. They're halfway there with Libero on the Dragon Blade, which is going to be the key one for how these team fights have been going in terms of ult usage. Actually being targeted down here by Effect. Doesn't find him, but looks for Nuz. Soundbear is forced by this, actually.
He almost finds him, and he might still go down in the end. He does. Effect comes up with the kill all the same. Alpha now jumping around with the Primal Rage, just trying to get these smack offs. Does find two. Finds several. Mickie goes flying off the map. Alpha!
Easy.
You can see popping off in the booth. Hyped after that play, and he damn well should be.
I mean, that's a rage face for a Primal Rage. If I've ever seen it, that's going to be the map for Meta Athena. They take it.
All on the back of Alpha with that one play they get. So if he can get that pick off, work his way onto the top left flank, have that high ground. But actually, you can see here already they saw a rocket, so Taimou says, you know what, I can't run this. I can't run the Roadhog. I will have to swap. So he's going to go for the McCree. So once that hit scan, and Harry comes back to help escort him very swiftly over to the point with the rest of the squad. So really good communication immediately out the gate from EnVyUs.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that a lot of Korean teams specifically won't do. They won't switch very quick when they see the Pharaoh. They'll try to just fight it head on. EnVyUs, I think, taking the smarter approach here, having this hit scan for the counter. Good Violet Grenade going to put him out of the fight from a nice shot there on the Sayaplayer, however.
Yeah, but HarryHook still went down, couldn't save his life in time, so they are without that Lucio. So now a lot of pressure on the back of Chips to keep his team popped off. Taimou trying to find these last hits, does help get the kill as Effect is there on that high ground to help take down Libero. So they get rid of the Para, the pharmacy comp has been dismantled, and that's going to be a very swift first cap coming through for EnVy. So really, only the delay of having Taimou go back to swap to the McCree. Otherwise, straight out the gate, they get the capture.
I mean, this is good, intelligent decision-making to switch to the McCree, but on top of that, the accuracy that we saw from Taimou, really, really impressive there. Getting the kill on the Sayaplayer, which was actually one of the biggest worries he would have had. Otherwise, he was literally free to look directly at the sky and shoot a Pharaoh that was 180 degrees directly above him. So, Taimou the carry of that fight, and all it took was a switch. Speaking of switches, Libero is going to go onto the Genji here. They're not going to continue to run the pharmacy. That was kind of a surprise tactic. Perhaps they heard that Taimou was running the Roadhog in scrims, but didn't end up working out as a counter. As the Deadeye comes out,
yeah, he's going to be looking for it. find any kills with it by the look of things here. Pulse Bomb comes out from effect, almost pops Hoon out of the mech, chases forward, and does finish it off in the end. So Hoon going to be exposed, should be taken out. Unless they want to try to keep him alive for the stagger, but no, they will kill him and Alpha. So tank line here from Meta Athena completely dismantled, and this payload is just going to keep moving along pretty swiftly.
Oh man, this is just staggered respawns out the wazoo here, Seth. This is just kills after kills after kills as Meta Athena trickles in 1 by 1, sometimes 2 by 2. But that's not Noah's Ark. This is the payload moving. And look at this. I mean, with what we saw there, again, it's the survivability of effect. He comes around, it looks like Meta Athena just doesn't take him seriously because he goes so low. It's like, okay, he's gone, he's gonna go heal, he's out of the fight. He comes back inside, he's getting kills, sub 20 health.
Mickie dropping that self-destruct, will find Nuss, takes him out. Taimou's down on the backside, and Sayaplayer does find that kill. Now the sound barrier out here from EnVyUs. They want to posture forward, they want to stick in this fight. Libero has the Dragon Blade out, takes out both of the supports as he finishes off HarryHook, but Mickie with the boop will be finishing him off. Primal Rage out from Alpha, just trying to delay them 0.38 meters in front of point B. And he's doing a damn good job of it because the rest of Meta Athena is getting back in here to contest this payload. You can see EnVyUs have to kite back.
Now 0.38 meters away, they commit in for the hold. Primal Rage very helpful yet again here. Alpha really stepping it up in terms of dive, and Meta Athena said in their interview they're looking for focus firing, the target selection. That's so important, and when you have Alpha who's this aggressive, who comes in first, the team follows up, they have a target in mind and they're finding it. Oftentimes that's going to be the Taimou, that's going to be Chips. So EnVyUs will reset, again using so much to try to secure this. They have no ults available, so this is a great time for Meta Athena to try to catch up in terms of time.
Yeah, sorry, not going to get anything there. Effect now, finishing off Nuss, and Taimou just getting leapt on, kites back, and keeps himself alive in the end. Helix Rocket's not going to find Sayaplayer, but he's still dangerously low, can't threaten the back line, and will be taken out off screen. Taimou finishing off Kris here on top of the payload. Hoon will get popped out, he will go down, and that will be the completion on point B. 4 minutes, 8 seconds for EnVyUs to get to point C.
Got so many ults about to finish now. They did this without the ult economy advantage. Now they're going to have this nice setup to try to complete this push. In fact, again, free to harass right now, just trying to find anyone he can. Let's see if they actually commit to stopping him. Hoon actually uses the defense matrix super early, way too early to use that one.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb comes out there, doesn't find the stick, so not going to be getting much. And Libero, he's just going to be taken out way too far forward. Alpha yet again having another Primal Rage, going to try to get the knockoff onto Chips. Can he get it? Pins him into the tree saving his life. It'll actually pop the Transcendence in desperation just so he doesn't die. But on the other side, the supports from Meta Athena are yet again dead, and EnVyUs keeps coming up with picks. The self-destruct not going to find anything this time around here for Hoon. And this payload just keeps pushing forward, rounding the final corner with over 3 minutes still on the clock.
And over 3 ultimates here. Effect going to have his Pulse Bomb now. They have so much to work with to secure this, notably the self-destruct.
Yeah.
They're going to have Primal Rage. There's no way Meta Athena stops this, right? I mean, they just don't have the tools. Self-destruct going to be first. Immediately kills Alpha as he darts in.
Dead in midair, and that's going to be the attack visor out here from Taimou, firing away, helps pop out Hoon. Dragon Blade drawn out as Libero goes in the back line, trying to finish him off, but he's going to be taken down. That's the completion for EnVyUs. 2 minutes, 48 seconds on the clock.
A nice time bank to work with. They had the one hiccup there going into the second checkpoint, but beyond that, it was smooth sailing. I feel like the big problem for Meta Athena was after the initial capture of the payload itself, they lost that team fight, the first pushing team fight, but it wasn't a wipe. It was just 3 members dead. The remaining 3 were for some reason trying to delay and contest the payload, getting aggressive. There were mobile heroes like the Tracer, like the Lucio, so just trying to buy a little bit more time, trying to get more ults, but because they died, they kind of trickled the respawn. So EnVyUs had that first free push. And the second fights, of course, were very similar to that once we actually had that second checkpoint where EnVyUs had the massive ultimate advantage. So here we go now. It's going to be a defensive EnVyUs now. Mickie already showing the Torbjorn, so we'll see if that's committed to. Taimou also on the Sombra.
I mean, you think back to the last time that EnVy played against Meta. On the payload, on the final hybrid map there in Game 5, it was full holds by EnVy. Only on King's Row was it a 2-2, and that's the 50-50 map where both sides have the most even chance to come up with a victory. So EnVyUs have been known to stomp out Meta Athena on these styles of maps. So very well could be seeing just a full hold on point A.
It looks like they're just very confident with the map itself, and Effect knows how to outmaneuver Meta Athena here. They're going to commit to the Sombra, but not the Torbjorn for this first defense here on point A. It's going to just be the solo support chips on Ana. Harry flexing onto the DPS here is always what happens when Taimou will play the Sombra. We've seen it mostly on Hollywood. And obviously he's an ex-DPS player, an ex-Soldier main himself. And if you don't believe me, you're about to see the accuracy. Hack's coming down as we see Meta Athena's going to run that traditional dive. Hoon on the Diva.
But it's still just been so lackluster here from Meta Athena. We'll see if they can pull it off this time around. But Taimou hacking some very critical health packs here on the map. Could be halting Meta Athena quite a bit, as they're just containing back behind the spawn. In fact, keeping himself alive and is still just firing off, trying to build up for that first pulse bomb. Alpha doesn't make it into the room, botches the launch, and HarryHook on that Soldier, bringing it back from seasons 1 and 2, does take him down.
It looks like Meta Athena looks to be, for the most part, relaxing this push. They'll look for another wave to come in here. Immediately found, though, by Mickie. That defense matrix just absorbed so much damage. Regardless, though, make it knocked out of the mech. Already Hoon is out of the picture.
We do find Cocco, so trading back on a tank. Sayaplayer goes in deep, gets hit by that biotic grenade, has to kite out, but HarryHook and Chips have gone down, so now there's no support available here for EnVyUs. It's just Mickie and Taimou as Cocco comes back in on the respawn, but Meta Athena piling in onto the point will have that first tick. EnVyUs, do they want to go for a final contest? They're starting to push their way up and around the corner. Looks like the answer might be yes, as Mickie does come in, but he's targeted out immediately.
They have so many ults almost ready, but not quite there yet. Mickie is out of the mech already, and I think that might just seal the deal here. Although they do commit Cocco's Primal Rage here, but nothing to pair with it. Taimou's going to have an EMP, but they just don't have the damage. Looks like it's just going to be an EMP and swap here from Taimou.
No, he doesn't even throw it out. He knows that he's just going to be dead the rights as soon as he goes in, so he holds on to it. They try to stave off as long as possible, but still going to be about 5 minutes on the clock there for Meta Athena on this push.
So Mickie went in and absorbed a lot of the damage. Sayaplayer, though, was completely left ignored and, ended up doing the majority of the damage in that fight. So he had the camera shot of him there, the zoom in, OGN style, but holds on to his pulse bomb now. Nice ult advantage here for Meta Athena. Taimou's going to stick with the Sombra. I thought perhaps we just see the EMP and swap, but wants to use this for the next push.
Oh, really deep in goes Alpha, has that nano boost to try to keep him alive, gets the biotic grenade as well, but Effect is there, follows up with a headshot to take him down. The sound barrier is going to be a bit too late there from Meta Athena. Have already suffered 2 losses. Will just mitigate a little bit of damage as they do get pushed back, and Taimou has burned out that EMP, now looking to build up another one as he pushes in behind the enemy. Somehow they didn't spot him, even though he ran into several people. Sees that biotic grenade come out, immediately leaps back to safety.
So push continues here. Holding on to the pulse bomb is Effect. Drops it out now. Didn't actually connect with anybody, unfortunately. Sayaplayer still got his and looking pretty good with it so far.
Hasn't really had to use it yet. The payload's still moving up here pretty steadily for Meta Athena as they get ready to round that final corner to point B. That player just looking to flank, chip out these backline members where he can. Self-destruct, not going to find anything here for Mickie. Just zone them off the payload, stops moving for a little bit longer, but Chips and Harry have both gone down. Alpha coming up with a double kill on the supports, and now Cocco dead. The front line of Envy being brutalized as Mickie is about to be popped out of that mech. Taimou tries to keep himself alive, kiting back very dangerously low on the Sombra, so can't really set up for an EMP yet for the rest of his team to capitalize on.
So much more sustained once the healers are gone. Sayaplayer is just doing a ton of extra damage. Alpha's there always for the secured kills. Whenever Sayaplayer leaves to heal up, that's when Alpha goes in to finish off the kills. So 2 minutes of time really here basically for Meta Athena to match the time bank of EnVyUs. A much cleaner push here. Both these teams kind of snowballing these payload pushes in. And again, another ult advantage for Meta Athena. They've been much more economical with their ult usage so far.
Yeah, it's a massive one. And I mean, EnVyUs do have a couple coming up here soon. The sound barrier about to be there for HarryHook, as well as the Primal Rage now available for Cocco. So they do have quite a bit in the inventory, but already Chip's going to be opened up here, gets taken down, and Libero with the Nano Blade draws it out, looks for Harry, can't quite find him as he's just a bit too fast with the wall rides, takes himself out to safety. So the Dragon Blade not really going to get much. They do pop out Mickie right at the end. As they try to follow up with the kill, Libero will get that with a dash through.
I mean, this is just impressive play out of Libero. Even into the sound barrier, he was able to find so much damage there. The sound barrier was really well timed to try to deal with that, to try to counter it, but still, even though he didn't pick up a 4K or anything crazy, no Haksal, who are you moment, still thrashed EnVyUs, pushed them back into the spawns. Still no defensive ultimates here. Taimou's super close to having that tack visor. Can they make this happen?
Yeah, but now there's not going to be a nano boost to go with it. Chips is very dangerously swapped over to the Zenyatta on this final push with just meters to go, trying to desperately build up for that Transcendence. Taimou does pop that tack visor as the Discord Orb comes through in onto Alpha. Will go low enough to be taken down with the help of Mickie. And now Libero maybe going to be the target. Chips getting jumped onto the backside, gets taken out by Kris, and the sound barrier comes down here from Meta Athena. They want this to be the final push. Mickie is contesting the payload, sneaking around the back in that baby diva form, but will be found out, will be taken down, and now it's on effect. Has to recall
Dragon
right
Blade's
off
ready.
the bat as he dangerously goes low. Taimou gets cut down as Libero has the Dragon Blade, as you say, but nobody's there to contest. And Meta Athena will get the completion just 2 seconds faster than Envy.
So very close on this map. Two very one-sided pushes. In terms of the pushes we saw from EnVyUs, I felt like they were just much more coordinated in terms of their team fight. It wasn't the ult economy that really won it for them. In fact, they didn't really have to use their ults there until the end. Meta Athena had a much better ult economy in terms of the attack versus the EnVyUs defense, but I feel like we criticized the Mickie Torbjorn pick on Nepal. I feel like when you look at Taimou's Sombra there, wasn't able to get a whole lot done. The point was captured right at the same time he had his first EMP. Didn't build a whole lot of ult charge. This isn't a map we normally see the Sombra on defense because there aren't a lot of health packs to get that extra value out of. They're very far away from where you're contesting the point. So that was an issue. Couldn't EMP multiple times. The idea definitely was to really severely delay that A capture so they would always, no matter what, have the better time bank, but the Sombra pick didn't work out. They stuck with it for a long time, and I feel like that really hurt them. So Taimou's now going to be switching again, it looks like, onto the Roadhog. We'll see if Meta Athena counters this after they see it, because last time it was the opposite happened. Taimou switched to the McCree after scouting the Pharah, but this time it's just going to be Meta Athena with the standard dive, 2-2-2.
I think it's a good read by Taimou, just kind of figuring that they're not going to try that pharmacy comp again because of the fast swap and how ineffective it was at holding point A. So fully expecting them to not be running that. He just wants to get the pick on the likes of Sayaplayer and Libero, especially when the deflect is down, and just eliminate half of the DPS from the side of Meta Athena. I mean, even getting something like the Diva, dragging her away from her team, just pop her out of the mech and make her almost completely useless.
EnVyUs is actually going to go deep here, diving under this archway, but backing off now, dropping the bubble here as they regroup.
It's really dangerous.
Insanely.
Yeah, had a really nice biotic grenade catching several members with the sleep dart there onto Cocco, but they can't finish them off. So EnVyUs still going to be pushing her on the backside, finds the hook in, dragging out that Diva mech, but they haven't been able to pop anything yet. And yet again, the biotic grenade here in these just very short passageways is coming up trumps here for Nuss. He does get taken out in the end as Mickie finishes him off, and Taimou gets Libero, but it's going to be pretty even exchanges back and forth.
Yeah, really good biter grenades coming out from Nuss, though. He was the hero there.
I mean, look at Alpha. He's got Primal Rage 40% faster than Cocco.
Yeah, just more successful in terms of finding that consistent DPS. The biter grenades protecting him and also hurting his teammate in that choke point. Sayaplayer looks to win this exchange.
The high pressure Tracer battle.
Yeah.
Beck dashes his way to safety. Says, you know what? You have a Lucio on behind you. This is not a fair fight, so doesn't want to take it anymore. Instead, we'll just be poking him from behind.
Beck has a
ready to go.
pulse.
Can he find it? Finds the stick, I do believe. Takes down Nuss, but Cocco has already been traded out by Sayaplayer.
So no numbers advantage, and Libero's going to get the pick here onto Taimou. The hog pick just has not been working in these choke points. The bio grenades were good in that first fight. Not entirely sure what happened. It was shown off screen there, but
Sound barriers out here from EnVyUs, but still several members dead now. Running back, Mickie popped out of the mech. Will throw down that self-destruct, trying to find something, but it's going to be answered by one from Hoon. No picks on either side, but yet again, EnVyUs delayed from getting onto the point, and now it's down to a minute on the clock.
Meta Athena again with the ult advantage. Libero gets the nano coming in on the blade.
Coming through, yeah, Taimou taken out as he tries to retreat. HarryHook gets the boot back, but is finished off by Hoon with the chase forward. And Mickie is just going to be going ahead, throwing himself off the map.
Even if they take it with the next push, which would be so difficult without the sound barrier, the nano boost, which is going to probably be used on the Winston, it's going to be such a burned time pool. They're down to 32 seconds here, so even if they grab it, Meta Athena is still massively in favor here in terms of the time. Sayaplayer already trickling the health pool down of effect.
Yeah, and you can see here, Taimou, seeing that the hog's not working, swaps over to the McCree to try to get something done, but HarryHook off the bat's going to be the first one that goes down. Hit Chips, follows suit, as they do find Nuss and Kris, so both supports on either side are dead. Taimou finds the kill on the Sayaplayer, but gets traded by Libero, who is dangerously low, trying to finish off effect, as he only has 5 HP remaining.
That was
rages
insane.
out from both of these Winstons, now fighting it onto the point as we go into overtime. The first tick has been found here by EnVyUs, forcing a 66% for Meta Athena on the attack, but can they get more and force the full cap? That's what EnVyUs desperately needs right now. That's the 100% that will be required, and maybe they just find it. Maybe they can actually get this payload rolling.
That they will, so payload's moving. Taimou with the double in that last fight was what really pushed them over the edge, gave them the body advantage. They were able to push through, including a kill while he was at what, like 18 health, 20 health, something like that. He was insanely low, still got that double. It's very, very important. That effect cleans up house, so the overtime push is rolling. Meta Athena does have that Dragon Blade available. No nano boost with it just yet. As Hoon's actually going to dive in. He has a self-destruct. Doesn't want to use it here, I don't think, though.
Mickie holding on to his as well, is just able to take down Libero. Very crucial one here for the side
There
of
it is.
EnVy. But yeah, HarryHook will be taken down as Hoon does toss out that self-destruct. But there's still plenty of members posturing in, and Chips throws out the EMP as he is swapped over onto that Sombra. They're trying to take him out, but Cocco is actually the first one to fall. Alpha still wreaking havoc there on the monkey. Just going down, Mickie not finding anything, but they will get rid of the enemy Winston as they keep trying to just inch this payload along. Flashbang from Taimou, just going a bit too far. Doesn't have the lockdown onto Sayaplayer, but he still will get taken out in the end.
I mean, the amount of times Taimou's killed Tracers in the series is just too many. He's doing so well on this McCree specifically. We saw him really carry with this on the first attack phase for EnVyUs. Now that we're in overtime rounds here, he continues to help this push. And even with the time bank lead that Meta Athena had, that short one, and the stronghold, this is just a free push now. So this might even be impossible for Meta Athena to push this far. EnVyUs with an unheard of push.
Yeah, this is just kind of nullifying all of that. You can see Taimou getting jumped on there. The bubble comes down, so no Deadeye kills coming out. Chips is actually going to go down. Libero pop it off with the nano blade. Finds 3 off the bat. Can he get more? Cuts his way through Mickey's mech. Should be able to finish him off in the end, and that might just be the halt on the push right there. Unless Cocco can do some serious work, but he's already so very low, he'll get finished off. But EnVy, against the odds, finally find the cap in overtime and then push it all the way in front of point B.
You see the camera shot here on Meta Athena. There's no smiles, there's no celebration. Even though it was an amazing finish there with the nano boosted Dragon Blade, the really good team fight. It's what happened previously, the strong push. An overtime push usually doesn't last that long in competitive Overwatch. I know you've all played solo queue. You've seen this happen to you. It's the most frustrating thing when you're behind in terms of the push is going and then it just keeps going. And no matter what you do, they have the momentum going. Taimou is getting several kills on the McCree, including killing Sayaplayer on the Tracer. Feels so frustrating when you know their time bank is 0, but the push continues. So if you can't have that amazing momentum, if you can't have that overtime push, pushing it this far is going to be a big challenge now for Meta Athena.
EnVyUs backs against the wall right now. Don't want to be taking a match point. This defense, expecting them to go all in on this one. HarryHook yet again going to be operating on the Soldier with Taimou on the Sombra. Okay. So a lot of protection here. Expect Mickie to stick by Chips.
Let's see what Taimou can get done this time. Last time with the very swift capture for Meta Athena, he wasn't even able to EMP on point A. So Meta Athena is really hell-bent on going back to the meta that's very much more common nowadays, the new era, the 2-2-2 dive. Alpha has really been the hero more than Hoon, though, in terms of peel, in terms of dive in the front lines.
Oh, for sure. He's been the MVP
Speaking
here
of which,
for Meta Athena, but yeah, already high ground going to be contested, but Sayaplayer is actually the first one to fall as Effect wins out on that Tracer battle, and Hoon has already been taken down. It's just going to be a cleanup here by EnVyUs, putting on a clinic as they just team kill Meta Athena on that first push.
There's like an official Sombra video released by Blizzard to show how the hero works. I feel like the picturesque video would be what we saw from Alpha there, was he went insanely low after his heavy dive. Was like, okay, I'm gonna go grab the health pack. He walks in, health pack's hacked.
Like,
oh no,
nope.
I can't heal for my teammates anymore. Alpha's not in the fight. Hoon gets demeched. The fight ends basically immediately. Taimou doesn't have the EMP yet, but
he
he's
gets
much
a hack
closer.
in on the Libero to start things off, so a nice little entry hack as he still builds up for that EMP
got
much
it now.
faster than we saw the first time around. Mickie gets knocked out of the mech. Who nearly does, but is able to kite back around. They're going to be operating around the backside of the point here as they try to find an entry. Not getting the knockout on that mech is actually really crucial here for Meta Athena's success.
Okay, choke point here. Chips looking for the big biotic grenade. Should be Actually, not going to find that, not going to find the value. Taimou drops down the EMP defensively here, away from the point. That's going to really do a number to the push of Meta Athena.
Yeah, already takes down one, and Mickie this entire time was in baby team form, makes his way back in. HarryHook, the only one to fall on EnVyUs as Libero finds the kill.
Nice,
still alive, but
dart.
now finally will be taken down.
The sleep for the extra delay of the respawn timers, so not only did EnVyUs have that incredible push, but they look to perhaps full hold here. There's a lot of tools, including the Nano Blade, for Meta Athena to take this one, though.
They desperately want it, but the big game breaker here for Meta Athena could be Libero with the Nano Blade. Nuss is ready to go. If EnVyUs can find a pick onto either Libero or Nuss, that probably just completely shuts down that initial push. Sayaplayer finds the hit in, but the bionic grenade's there, and Cocco stays alive even through the pulse bomb. Finally, though, the chase comes through, and Hoon will finish him off. Back visor, the nano visor actually out here from HarryHook as he's getting jumped on from behind, will be taken down. Just way too many members, just trying to get as much damage in as he possibly could. But Meta Athena is now in onto the point. They have the first tick, and it might just be the cap.
Yeah, looks like it will be Meta Athena going to take this. EnVyUs not ready to contest. Taimou has EMP though. Not going to use it, just sneaks into the bag. There's no one to pair with his EMP, he just gets taken out. So will we see the miracle push here in overtime for Meta Athena? EnVyUs already made that happen. With the long delay here and the successful Sombra this time, feels like the cards are stacked against Meta Athena, but we've seen it happen once, so I don't want to call this one early.
They have a couple things ready to go. Chips, yet again, moving over onto that Zenyatta. Will not have a Transcendence, and that Dragon Blade is still there for Libero, so he's going to be very vulnerable. That comes down on the Sayaplayer as he is caught out in the back, but already halfway on this push is Meta Athena in overtime, trying to make this work. Taimou still has the EMP.
Gonna be about that EMP too. It looks like Taimou's on the Sayaplayer hunt with his positioning so far. There he goes.
Yes, Sayaplayer goes down. Taimou works his way in, drops it down, and pulse bomb finds Alpha. The self-destruct knocks Hoon out of the mech, but Libero with the Dragon Blade finishes off HarryHook, finds Chips, but he needs much, much more than that. Loses the blade, will get taken out, and that's going to be it. EnVyUs tying up the series 1-1 as they win on Numbani.
So important